Hello everybody, I am Omega Recon Gaming, and with my friend Caligold45 here, we're going to be talking about E3. Say hello, Cali.
What's up, everyone? It's Caligold45. How you doing?
Man, E3 was awesome. I watched all the conferences, though I didn't watch many of the demos afterwards, I have to admit, because I just, I don't want to spoil myself. Unless there's a game that I'm on the fence on, then I'm just like, But for the most part, I watched, for like the E3 conferences, I watched every single one. Even Bethesda at like 12 a.m. in the morning, which I shouldn't have done, but, I wanted to see what they were going to bring to the table.
Yeah, it was a little different. I didn't watch E3 at all, but I did see all the new game trailers on YouTube. So that's how I'm really caught up with everything.
Honestly, E3 was very good this year. A lot of companies really stepped up, and a lot of companies kind of stepped down this year. So in list of order, let's see, who went first? It was EA. Challenge everything. EA did very well this year. They kept their sports games to a minimum, talking about them, and they didn't go overboard like with last year when they brought in that dude to talk about, sport. And I was just like, I don't care. But from this perspective of I understand that there are a lot of people who do play sports games. So in that sense, they have to talk about these games, and they have to, get it out. Just like Ubisoft has to talk about Just Dance because it sells well. This was also
I can't remember that one year. I think there was that one year where they had that Just Dance presentation. It was so cringeworthy, I swear.
Yeah, this year was much more. This year, Ubisoft took lessons from EA, and the Just Dance was very short. The thing for Just Dance was very short, and it wasn't even that bad. Very techno this time, like Daft Punk and shit. So I was like, okay, that's fine, good.
So what's your list of games that did pretty well this year?
As well as that, so this year was very special. This year, Xbox decided to push out their new Xbox One X. Oh, that's the stupidest name. And the acronym is Xbox. And I'm just like, that's stupid.
That's smart, but it's smart but kind of dumb at the same time.
Okay. So so here's my dilemma. So what Xbox is doing is they're suffering from Wii U syndrome. Because, let's say you have a parent, right? And the kid asks, I want an Xbox One, right? Which Xbox One does she get her child? The Xbox One, the Xbox One S, or the Xbox One X? It's not fucking clear,
Right.
I mean, I know my parents would mess it up pretty bad. So that's why I have to say it, because I know what happens, and you gotta be wary of that shit. Get rid of this. But yeah, I think so. In my opinion, I'm gonna go over how I thought each company did this year at E3, since I watched all of it. So EA, I'm gonna say they get a B-, cause they trend on a C+ to a C- to a B-, because they did well. Like Star Wars Battlefront 2 looked awesome and all, but there was nothing that really captivated, besides that really. I mean, hey, did you know they're adding a story mode to what's it called?
Battlefront.
No. Well, yes, that was awesome. When they said, I was with Matt when I was watching E3. We funny enough, last year we watched EA together. We don't usually watch EA together because he's not into those type of games. But he was over my house and it just came on, and I was just like, hey, you want to watch this? And he was like, sure. So we did. And then he made the comment. He's like, you know, we watched EA together last year, and I'm like, really? Oh yeah, we did. So EA did, pretty well considering. And then it was, what was it? Ubisoft? Ubisoft was next, the next day. Ubisoft, I think, did the best. Shockingly, it did. They did very well.
Because it's Assassin's Creed Origins. That's pretty much why.
Well,
And oh yeah, and a Far Cry 5. That too.
that's not all. They also talked, you know, they didn't have any. None of their speakers were very cringeworthy, and actually, they probably had one of the best presentations. And let me explain why. So, I actually retweeted this. There was a picture of a dude. So there's a partnership between Ubisoft and Nintendo for a new game. Did I write down the game it was? Shit. I didn't write down the game name. Shit. But it's a crossover game with what's it called? The those rabbit things.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. I can't remember the name, but I have a clear mind in my head what you're talking about.
Yeah. Those, yeah. So when I was really surprised when Shigeru Miyamoto came on, like himself, he came on and it was really just awesome. So when they announced the dude's game, it wasn't Miyamoto who. So when Miyamoto said he was really looking forward to working on the project with, on this, and the fans, applauding for it, and it was a really good game. My friend Matt's gonna get it because he said he looked at it and he was like, "Oh my god, that was awesome." I was like, I agree. They both came out with the dude in the audience. I think it was a developer. He was fucking crying when Miyamoto acknowledged him, and I was like... And I think a lot of people... I was looking around on Twitter, a lot of people were like that hit with them,
Yeah.
For Shigeru Miyamoto to, acknowledge you is a huge thing. It would be like, what's his name? Who left Konami? Kojima. Same thing. So then it was up to, Bethesda, which was very late. Oh, I forgot to give Ubisoft a rating. B+. B+ or an A-. Because they didn't do perfect, but they did do a lot. And that was very appreciative. They had a lot of good games, and, out of all the companies, out of everyone, they did the best. Mm-hmm. Then, it was up to Bethesda, and Bethesda did the worst. I was so upset, really upset, because they just had nothing. I think they felt obligated to do it, because they did it last year and the year before that, and they did, well. So I think they felt, oh yeah, let's just do it again, just, because we should. No, right. That's not the way you should do it. Only go if you have to. That's why Square Enix didn't go, is because their games were getting delayed. Until, next year. Or some shit like that. Kingdom Hearts 3 and, Final Fantasy VII Remake. And Life is Strange is coming out in August. I cannot... Well, there's two Life is Stranges in development. The prequel and the sequel. I'm really looking forward to that. I just hope it's going to be good. I'm praying it's going to be good. Unfortunately, Chloe's not going to be voicing... going to be voiced by Ashley. She is on the writing team, though. That's what Square said. She is on the writing team. So, Bethesda, honestly, they get an F. They failed. They showed games, but, very little of them. And they didn't bring anything really interesting. The only you know what? No, I'm gonna give them a D-. Because the only interesting thing they showed was two things. Doom, Fallout VR, and Wolfenstein 2. And that was a little interesting. But other than that, like, they had nothing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, D-, and that's being generous. And let's see. So, who was next? It was... I think it was Xbox. Yeah, Xbox was next. I think I'm doing these out of order, but whatever. Okay, so Xbox did, or Microsoft, I should say. Microsoft did very well. They had a lot of good games in their lineup. They had like 42, they said, that are coming for the Xbox One X. Yeah, the name is dumb, but you know, what can you do? What the fuck? Okay, so we'll talk about games more specifically after, you know, I give my ratings for each one of them. So Xbox, I give them a B. They didn't really bring any big hits to the E3, but they brought enough games and a lot of gameplay to... What? You know, to make me, you know, happy. So,
Yeah.
and I don't have an Xbox One, so judge me as you will. But I just have no intention of getting an Xbox One. The games just don't interest me, really. You know, Sony and Nintendo just have better games. And, you know. So, speaking of Sony was very disappointing. They were after Microsoft. They were the next day. Wow. I was very disappointed. I don't know about you, Jonathan, but wow. Like, they really stunk. Like, I don't know. They just... you know, the only standout title was God of War 4 and Call of Duty game. But we already knew about those games were coming. And Detroit Become Human, that's another one.
Yeah, we already knew about those.
Yeah, we already knew about them. They brought, like, nothing new to the table. I mean, they showed some gameplay, so... Yay? But... That's it. Like, they had, like... Nothing... I mean... Literally, the Microsoft, I keep saying Xbox. Microsoft has the most powerful console right now, if you're not including PCs. The most powerful console. And what does Sony do? Nothing. They do nothing. In fact, Sony's on top, right? They're top dog now. You can't let Microsoft catch up. You can't do that. You know, because I just bought a goddamn PlayStation, you know. I don't want to lose all those good games just because, you know, they failed at E3. And this is just my opinion. Honestly, like, did you see anything you liked from Sony, Jonathan?
I only have a list of games that I found interesting. Not really paying attention to like the conferences per se. Just mostly the games. Really.
Well, that's what EA is. That's what E3 is all about. It's about the games.
Well,
that's what. Oh,
yeah, I know.
Xbox had one good tagline. It's all about the games. Also, what Xbox did is they have backwards compatibility, not just to Xbox One and Xbox 360, but they took it a step further and backwards compatibility to Xbox games, the original Xbox. That is pretty damn sweet. And now that makes me kind of worried because now I feel because Sony didn't have much to compete. You know what have really brought, you can only say what should have been there. Like, if you're gonna put expectations, you know, I didn't put any expectations on Sony, except I expected them to bring something. That's the only expectations. I was like, but I wasn't upset because they didn't bring out a new Spyro game or The Last of Us 2, which so many people fucking expected. But, you know, since it wasn't there, I didn't, you know, I don't play Last of Us 2, so it didn't bother me. But I was feeling, you know, they were hinting at it and nothing. That would have been a killer, you know, thing. You know, just to leak it or reveal it, you know. But
Right.
nothing. You know, it would have really helped. But people are, well, in their opinions that, you know, Sony did the, I'm like, nah. No. Ubisoft did the best. They had a lot of gameplay. They had a lot of good, you know, things. So Sony, in my opinion, scored a C+. A C+, because they did have a few good games, but they really need to step, because you know, I feel like the PlayStation Pro and, you know, the X, even though the Xbox One X is still, you know, what do they call it? A niche, you know, to have, because, Jonathan, do you have a 4K television?
No, I don't. So
I don't have.
It's worthless to me.
Yeah, so it's worthless to those people, you know. And other than, you know, your games might run better, honestly, you know. Honestly, a 4K television wouldn't fit in my room, nor could I afford one.
Right.
And so, one more thing I should mention about Xbox: the price of the Xbox One X is $500. $500. Twice the amount that the Xbox One is. Twice. You could get 2 Xbox Ones, one for you and one for a friend with that price. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I guess if people want to pay it, I guess we'll have to let the sales do the deciding factor, you know.
Yeah.
So, last on the list was Nintendo, and they get their own day just like EA. I don't know why. I don't know why they don't just group EA and Nintendo together, but I don't know. So, Nintendo, and I play Nintendo games. I've played them my whole life, but this time I looked at it objectively. Nintendo did the second best. They got a B+. Here's why. Because they announced so many good games. You know, they gave the fans what they wanted. And even for people who don't, you know, play, you know, Nintendo games, you know, they had a lot of good stuff for them. They had FIFA, a new Kirby game, people went wild. New Metroid game, people went fucking bananas. Rocket League for the Switch, Super Mario Odyssey, Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon. And man, that's just, you know, that's so many titles. Like, Jesus, and there's even more than that, but, you know, those are the ones that I specifically remember. And the biggest news, the absolute biggest news, okay, is there's a core Pokemon game coming to the Nintendo Switch. That was their big news, and they saved it for the end. Holy shit, was it worth it. Oh my god. Like, what a closer, you know, to announce that there's a Pokemon game, a core Pokemon game, a main series game. This has never happened before. It has never, ever happened before. Not even ports have come over to the main consoles. This is the first. This is a first. In over 20, more than 20, I think it's 20 years. It's never happened. It's so fucking unbelievable, you know. Because people now, and that got people really hyped, you know. Honestly, I think Nintendo did the best to please their fans, even though people were complaining about no Animal Crossing, and I was like, they're not miracle workers, people. They can only work on so many games, you know. And I think a lot of people, you know, just hated on Nintendo for just not delivering one game.
Yeah.
You know. I mean, for Sony, they delivered a few good games, like the DLC for Uncharted 4. I'm looking forward to. I don't know if I'll get it right away. Maybe I'll wait for a price drop. But yeah, Nintendo did the second best, and I wasn't expecting that, honestly. I thought they were gonna, you know, it was gonna be very boring like last year, but no, they did extremely well. Um, they honestly they impressed me because I think that their mindset is completely, like, they're changing their mindset a little with the Switch because they're allowing third-party developers, and a lot of people are so happy about that. I'm one of them, of course, because that's one of the reasons the Wii U failed, is because the third-party support dropped after launch, and not only that, but, you know, people confused it to be an add-on, and I'm like, okay. I mean, I guess so, but I don't know. So, and then that was it. I didn't watch the PC gaming show because I don't, you know, but, you know, a lot of people didn't, you know, go see that. So I don't know what happened from PC, and I don't play PC games anymore, so give your own rating for that, but, you know. So, okay, Jonathan, do you want to start off telling us your games that you saw from E3, and then I'll do mine?
So, my number one game that I'm truly excited for from E3 is, of course, Life is Strange, Before the Storm. I really love Life is Strange. I got the game in digital and I got it on disc. So
speaking of which, it is available now for PSN users this month for free. The whole game. Yeah.
So when I saw the trailer, I was literally screaming in the inside, like, "Oh my God, yes, a new Life is Strange, finally!" And we're also going to get a new Life is Strange game from Don't Nod, and this game is developed by another company. I don't know the name right now, but I'll know it later. But right now, Life is Strange Before the Storm is that game I'm really excited for. My number 2 game will be Spider-Man. He's my favorite superhero ever since Tobey Maguire. Now we actually saw gameplay from this game, and it looks amazing. The free roaming looks like it's going to be fun. The story, we don't know the story exactly. We just know like what the game is going to look like and feel like. So, Spider-Man, they say it's 2018 is coming out, so I'm really hyped for that. This is the game that you're not really interested in, David, because you know you don't like fighters. So.
Oh no, I like fighters. Don't.
Oh.
No, I love Mortal Kombat and fuck, what's it called? Dragon Ball, and you know, like Naruto too. They're 2 favorite animes. Are you kidding? Get out of here.
Well, bad. I was thinking of you saying you don't like superhero games. My bad. But Dragon Ball FighterZ is that game I'm a little excited for. It is Dragon Ball, and no, it's Dragon Ball FighterZ.
Z.
Like the Z is.
Yeah, Dragon Ball FighterZ. That's what it's called.
It's Dragon Ball FighterZ. The Z is for.
I get what you're doing. I get you. You. All right.
So Dragon Ball FighterZ is what I'm really excited for because one, I'm a Dragon Ball fan, of course.
Rip Capcom Infinite.
No. Forget that game. I'm not a Marvel Capcom.
I know, but it was so hilarious. I don't know if anyone was watching Twitter on E3 that day, but when DBZ, the DBZ fighting game, which looks amazing, when that was shown, immediately on Twitter, it was Rip. There were so many memes of like Rip.
Marvel
Capcom Infinite.
Capcom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was so funny.
Have you seen the character designs for Marvel vs. Capcom? Like they had one for Dante.
Yeah, I did. And the raccoon dude from whatever that movie I never saw. I didn't see either movie. I just didn't care. The only person I recognized was Dante. I didn't even see Phoenix Wright. That makes me upset.
Yeah. So, and my last game I'm excited for is Far Cry 5 because for one thing, I love Far Cry since the 3rd game. Boss is the best villain in the video game history in my opinion. And Far Cry 4 was okay, but it was still enjoyable and it was still fun free roaming and stuff. And this game, it looks like it's taking place in the United States. It's taking place in like Nebraska or somewhere.
Montana.
Montana, like somewhere that has like a huge environment, so they're still keeping that aspect, which I'm happy for. And the main villain, it looks like the main story is going to be about some cult that's taken over, you know, this state.
It's Crazed Christians. I read the whole thing on it and watched E3. Yep,
Which
it's
I
like
think is a very interesting concept, and forget everyone that's saying, "Oh my God, this is so bad," blah blah blah. Like the whole
that's just the
controversy
state of the
behind it.
internet.
It's just the internet in general. But who cares what they think? Like this game, let people do what they want with the story. So
Amen.
Far Cry 5 is that game that I'm really excited for, and really that's all the games I'm hoping it's going to be good the next few months or the next year to come.
Okay, now it's my turn. And, ladies and gentlemen, ready for Omega's run-through of 15 games. Yes, 15.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I watched all of E3. You know, I told you there was a lot of good games. A lot of them I probably won't end up getting, but all right. So here we go. Battlefront 2. Like, did you mention that, Jonathan?
Oh, forgot about Battlefront, but yeah, that's I guess we could say that's a runner-up. But yeah,
Oh
Battlefront 2
my God.
is pretty good.
And there's going to be all the DLC is going to be free. All of it. All of it.
But they're still gonna have microtransactions.
Yes, but honestly,
That's only for if you want to level up faster and stuff. But that's
yes.
for people who don't
Yes.
have time to play
and
games.
you know, honestly, you know, it doesn't, you know, bother me as much. You know, at least you're gonna let everyone play on the same playing field.
Yeah.
Because I hate DLC maps. It's so I can't play with other people. You know. Oh, I hate it when Call of Duty does it. All right, so. So yeah, Battlefront 2 looked amazing, and they saved that shit for the end. EA, and that was their trump card. I remember the explicit dialogue. And all right, this is what you've all been waiting for. Time for 30 minutes of unadulterated Star Wars. And the crowd was like, yeah! And I remember Matt was with me when we saw that, and I fucking went ballistic. He can attest to that. I went fucking ballistic. I was like, yes! I was so happy when I saw that shit. Because I was really hoping that this time they'll do it right.
Yeah.
So, and honestly, from reviewers around, everyone's like, even Jonathan here said to me that he might pre-order it. But, you know.
Because I'm literally only going to play as Rey because she is my favorite.
I'm going fucking Yoda.
No, Rey and Darth Maul. Because
okay,
Darth Maul
I'm going
is
Vader and Yoda.
Okay.
Because of that fucking scene. Did you watch Rogue One?
Of course.
Oh my God, those like 5 minutes of Vader just cutting them down. Oh my
Spoilers,
God.
If you haven't seen it,
I watched that shit on
it's
repeat.
been like months.
I watched that shit on repeat. That whole movie, oh my God, it was a good movie by itself, but that scene just made me just go, oh, yes. Because that's what the fans want. Vader to just come in like a motherfucking badass and just chop them all down.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, the next title, which was a very surprise from, I think it was, it was either EA or Xbox. A Way Out. And it's like this prison game.
Mm-hmm.
Or you're two dudes. They're trying to get vengeance. First, you got to break out of prison. And that's, you know, what you're doing. And it's complete split screen. They've emphasized that a lot. It's complete split screen the entire way through. You know, each person gets a different angle. So let's say someone could be in a cutscene while the other person's just walking around. That's so fucking neat. You know, like, I'm thinking, why haven't games started doing this before? Xbox One exclusive.
Time exclusive. Let me stop.
No, I think it's an exclusive. Alright, so, yeah, so that looked interesting. Then, I wrote Assassin's Creed Origins. That looks interesting. I loved Assassin's Creed 3. I haven't really played any other Assassin's game aside the trilogy pack, and god hell that was shit. I mean, that was a totally different like kind of way that they put like 2D instead of 3D. That was a mistake to rent. But you know, Assassin's Creed Origins really impressed me, honestly. Looked great. The gameplay looked great. You know, they took a break from it. I think they said this game was in development for 3 years, and I'm like, really? Wow, okay. Alright, so that looked interesting. Dragon Ball Fighter Z. That looked so awesome.
Dragon Ball Fighters. The S.
I don't fucking give a shit.
It's Dragon Ball Fighters. Come on.
I don't care.
The title. It's in your face. It's Dragon Ball Fighters. Not fighters. Fighters.
I don't give a shit.
Okay, fine. Whatever. You keep saying Dragon Ball Fighter Z or Dragon Ball Z Fighters.
Fighters! Alright, so then I saw Super Lucky Tail. That looked very good from Xbox. And honestly, I really can't say much on the game, but you know, because I don't, you know, if you haven't seen it, it's a cute little platformer type deal. It's really cute. I was really not expecting it. Xbox came in swinging, saying they got games for every type of, you know, player, just like you know, 2K was with last year with every type of badass with Battleborn, and that was shit. Then, okay, so here comes probably one of the biggest reveals, and it was a complete shock. Life is Strange Before the Storm. So I watched this at E3 when they were, and do you know where that trailer came from, Jonathan?
No.
Microsoft. Yeah, Microsoft showed that off for Before the Storm, and I was like, I was completely, because Square Enix said that they weren't going to show off anything for E3, and then they just go, psych! So, Life is Strange Before the Storm is going to be as Chloe. I read a bit on about this, so it's going to be centering Chloe and Rachel. You're going to be playing as Chloe, and Chloe does not have powers. So, you need to think and they said this specifically, you need to think carefully before you, what's it called? You make a decision, because you can't rewind time this time. So, that was, like, really cool, and, oh, man. When I saw that, literally just blew my mind. Then there was Starlink Battle for Atlas. Now, this was a game that very interested me, and they showed it off for the Switch. It blew my fucking mind. But it's coming to other consoles. It's like Skylanders, but ship battles. They were swapping out blasters and stuff, and I was like, oh, that's fucking neat. And I was like, and Matt was with me when he saw that, and I was like, what do you think? And he's like, yeah, that's pretty cool. It's much cooler than Skylanders. Poor Spyro got stuck in Skylanders. So, what else? Oh yeah, Far Cry 5 looked awesome. I mean, we already knew about it, but, you know. And then there was, I'm just gonna run through these next few. Call of Duty World War II. I'm agreeing with a lot of people. I think this game's gonna be different. I think, well, this game has to be different.
That too. But I'm not excited for it, but I'm gonna get it.
There's no unlimited sprint. not just in the campaign, but also in the multiplayer. And there's no reviving or infinite health, you know, like regenerative health. That's all gone.
Mm-hmm.
If you die in the campaign, you die. You switch to another player, but that person is dead. And if your medic dies, which they can, I'm assuming you just die, period. They just blew me away. It's so good. And then there was Detroit Become Human. Did you see the new trailer for that?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
They took a different direction than I would have liked, but I'm still okay with it.
Yeah.
You know. Then there was South Park and the Fractured But Whole. I know it's already was announced last year, but honestly, they were showing off a new trailer. A trailer with it, so I was sucked in. Did you see that trailer too, Jonathan?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah. Are you gonna get that?
Of course.
Like, there's so many games that I want. It's like,
I know there's so many
these
good
good
games, but you know, inevitably there's some that I'm just gonna have to pass for now. For instance, I'll probably end up passing on well, A Way Out I think is for Xbox, so I'm passing that, and Super Lucky Tail. I'll just watch those two because I'm really interested to see the story direction they take. Any other games from Microsoft that are exclusive? Kirby. Matt was really happy when he saw that because he fucking loves Kirby. Kirby's alright with me. I like Kirby. He hasn't done me wrong, except for once. Mass Attack I didn't really enjoy that much, but I mean it's okay. But the new Kirby game, it's untitled. It's just called Kirby for right now. The thing with Nintendo was, if not all of their games are coming within this year, all of them. That was, for them to say that, I was like, all the games are coming this year. Reggie's Body was definitely ready this year. But unfortunately, you know, I feel like while they did have some good titles, Nintendo, like, you know, Super Mario Odyssey, Rocket League for the Switch, Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon, and Kirby, and, you know, all the other ones that I've mentioned from Nintendo, while they did have some good games and big, you know, things, I don't know, it just feels like they still needed a bit more to really wow the people. But you know, for what they did bring, I was impressed. So, actually, I just listed the rest of my games, which was Rocket League for the Switch. That fucking blew my mind. I was like, hell yes. Then there was, you know, Super Mario Odyssey, which looked awesome, and Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon.
06. Let me stop.
What?
Looks like
What?
Sonic 06.
Oh, Sonic Forces, that's another game. But, you know, I think my friend Matt's gonna get that one, so. That looked awesome. Actually, the new Sonic game, both of them look very good. I've heard from a lot of trustworthy reviewers that they looked awesome, but we'll have to see. In the Sonic Forces, you can make your own Sonic character, so I'm sure, you know, people will have fun with that.
Users, characters will come to
Oh,
life.
yeah. But honestly, I'm kind of looking forward to that kind of too, you know, to see what I can make, you know, with that.
Yeah.
So, honestly, you know, this was a very good year for E3, but also it felt a little underwhelming. I think the most upset I got was with Bethesda, because I know they can do better. I think, you know what's funny, Jonathan? They, a lot of the people said they had like a bingo book for E3, right? And then I think it was Angry Joe said, I think that they should add Skyrim to that bingo board. I think he said that, or someone said that. add Skyrim to that, because every fucking year it's something new about Skyrim. I'm just like, and it's not just from Bethesda right this time. It was from all the companies, because Bethesda's going to the Switch. There's VR for Skyrim and shit, and I'm just like, I feel like Skyrim is just too big at this point. Need to stop. There's a point in, oh, okay, Jonathan, so get this retarded shit. So before Bethesda tried to charge people for mods, right? That fans created on Steam. So now they're trying to do that again. That made me like, I'm just like, Bethesda, stop it. You don't own these. These are, people worked really hard to make these things. You do not own them. Fuck off. But, you know. Also, what else disappointed me? I think Sony just in general just disappointed me. They just didn't have the killer games this year. Like, look what they had last year. Games in general, they had Uncharted 4 last year. They also had Last Guardian in December. What? What's so funny? Would you like to share it with the class?
Oh, you talking about my phone going off?
Oh, I didn't even hear your phone going off.
Oh. So I was like, oh, he heard my phone going off.
I don't even hear your fucking GTA ringtone.
It wasn't a GTA ringtone.
Oh, you changed it?
No, it was just the iPhone ringtone.
Oh, I thought didn't you have a GTA ringtone? You spent like a whole like afternoon while we were talking just trying to get that GTA ringtone.
Yeah, I changed it though.
Yeah, that's what I was asking. I was like, did you change it? So, yeah, that was honestly E3. Honestly, as a whole, E3 kind of impressed me, and also at the same time was very underwhelming. That time I heard it, Jonathan.
Okay.
You know, any thoughts, Jonathan?
Any thoughts?
Any remaining thoughts?
No, not really. It's just that this year games was kind of disappointing. I only had a few interesting games that caught my eye, so it was kind of disappointing.
See, I didn't even get all the games from last year that I wanted to get. I did get a good amount of games. Oh, I remember what disappointed me. So I love Final Fantasy 15. I rated it a 10 out of 10 on the series that I did on my channel. So, Jonathan, guess what's coming to VR?
Skyrim.
No, well, yes, but it's Final Fantasy 15 Fishing. Remember, so what I said one time, like when I was playing the game, I was like, you know what? They should make a game on just this, or like, you know, this game, this fishing is better than any fishing game out there right now, and that's pretty sad. And this is just like a thing in the game, and then they made a whole game on it. It wasn't an expansion; it was a whole VR, you know, game, and I was just like,
they just want your money.
They've got to have money. But, I mean, that doesn't hinder my experience from Final Fantasy 15. I still loved it to death, and, you know, I played it twice. Honestly, I had a lot of games that I liked this year. I had one game, that's one good thing I could say, except for Bethesda. I had one game from each company that I was looking forward to. That's, except for Bethesda, because Bethesda was shit. So, that's all I have to say. So, I thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to check out Jonathan's channel in the link below. He does videos on anime and games, And he likes superheroes. He actually just had a superhero video on Injustice 2. Right? Jonathan? Stop being dead!
Sorry.
Stop being dead! Try that again. I said you just put out a video on Injustice 2, didn't you?
Yeah, I was using Harley Quinn, my favorite character in the game.
Yeah, so, yeah. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.